My name is Jonathan Goforth with Keller Williams Platinum Partners. Welcome back to my test question videos to help you pass the real estate exam. So congratulations to you on studying, getting ready to go pass the exam. I want you to screenshot this first, and then I'm going to give you the answers. These are two vocabulary terms. You need to know the difference, especially severance. So I want you to know severance and fixture. Screenshot this, and then I'm going to put what these are. This is the definition for severance and fixture. So I've been selling houses for 26 years. I'm fortunate to be listed in Forbes magazine in 2019, 20, and 2021 as one of the top market leaders in the country. And I can tell you, I have never used the word severance with any of my clients in 26 years. But you need to know it to pass the real estate exam. You also need to know fixture. Severance, for some reason, a little bit harder. It has nothing to do with Harry Potter. But severance can be used to trick you up on these test questions because they will use it as a wrong selection for other questions. Severance is going from real property to personal property. These are both changes in property. So severance is going from real property to personal property. For example, cutting trees into firewood. A tree is staying with the house. A tree is an appurtenance. And I've got another video. I'll put a link to that at the end of this. Click on that to learn the word appurtenance. An appurtenance is something that runs with the land. It stays there and it transfers automatically to the next homeowner. But when you cut the trees into firewood, you change them from real property to personal property. That is severance. Now, fixture is the opposite. Fixture is going from personal property to real property. For example, you go to Lowe's or you go to Ace Hardware or Home Depot, wherever, and you buy a ceiling fan. When you buy it there off the shelf, that's personal property. But when you install it, and you screw it in, and now it's permanently attached, it's wired in, it becomes real property. And when you do that from personal property to real property, it is called a fixture. Those are the fixtures inside the home. You need to know both of these. Now, at the end of this, in just a moment, we're going to practice some test questions. To test your recall, make sure you're learning and retaining this, and I'll show you how these can be used to trick you up a little bit on the real estate exam. So let's talk about trade fixtures. This is something different than fixtures. This is personal property. It's a trade fixture. You might see this on a test question because this falls under commercial. So here's what makes the real estate exam hard. Most of you watching this are probably getting licensed to sell houses. You're going to do residential property. You're never going to sell commercial property. You might not even be allowed to sell commercial property with certain brokerages because maybe they have a commercial department. They want you to refer those things to the commercial department. Maybe their E&O insurance doesn't even cover all of you for commercial. So some of the things on the real estate exam are commercial because when you get the real estate license, you are licensed for residential and commercial. So the exam covers both. And so you have to know commercial things too. And so the trade fixtures are more about commercial property. They are personal property. So remember what a fixture is. In residential property, the fixture is real property. But for a trade fixture is personal property. This is an item installed by a commercial tenant. It's a lease. And the commercial tenant has installed something, and that is a trade fixture. The tenant can take it at the end of the lease. Now, if they don't take it, then it becomes owned. It just stays there and it becomes owned by the landlord. And depending on how they're going to lease it out next time, they might have to remove it. Things like this could be a counter. Say it's a cafe, and the tenant brings in a counter, maybe a glass counter to put merchandise in. Or maybe it's a hair salon and they've brought in some equipment, maybe sinks, maybe special hair dryers, things that are attached to the property. Those are trade fixtures. And so that's what this is. So if you see the word trade fixture, remember that's personal, property. This is going to be the last vocabulary word, the last part of our material for this video. And then after this, we're going to use some test questions to help you practice with, show you how this is used in test question format, and show you some things that other people have seen on the exam. And so before we do this word, I want you to subscribe because this is a short moment in your real estate career as it begins. So right now you're just practicing like crazy, getting ready to go take the real estate exam. After you pass that and you mailed in your application, then you're a real estate agent. And then your real estate career begins. That's what all the other videos are on my real estate channel, is how to help you make a lot of money in real estate, how to have a successful real estate career, how to just get filthy, stinking rich in real estate. It's pretty much what this whole thing is about. I've been doing this 26 years. Last year, my team and I, it's my team, the Go Forth team, we did about another 40 million in closed volume last year. We did close to the same thing the year before. Yes, that's over $1 million in commission each of those years. I published a book. If you love to read, I published a real estate book a few years ago called How to Sell Homes in a Tough Market by me, Jonathan Goforth. You can Google that on Barnes & Noble. It's available at Barnes & Noble, Amazon. It's available from any bookstore can order it. If you just love to read, that's the 25 secrets I did to sell a lot of houses. But I'm using all that information and making YouTube videos. So that's why you want to subscribe, because all that's going to be coming out over the next few months. Emblements. I am wearing this to help you memorize the word emblements. Emblements are personal property. That's what I want you to remember. If you see this term anywhere on the exam, emblements are personal property. They are annual crops. You're growing, just remember green, growing, annual crops grown by a tenant on someone else's land. Screenshot that. Just memorize it. That's what an emblement is. It's growing crops on someone else's land, and it's personal property. Personal property. So this video is about real property and personal property. And so now, please subscribe, give this video a like. Let's do some test questions, practice your knowledge on this. We're about to do 3 different test questions to help you practice. But first, I want to talk about what is personal property. I want to talk about 3 things. Number 1, it's easily movable. Remember that personal property is easily movable. Examples: plates, silverware, furniture. Those are examples of personal property. Now, these are 2 different vocabulary words I want you to memorize. Chattel, that's another word used for personal property. So when you see chattel, that means personal property. And then the bill of sale, that is the instrument used to transfer personal property. So screenshot this. Those are just good words, especially chattel and bill of sale. You need to know what those are and how they relate to personal property. And now let's begin 3 test questions. Read this along with me. A person is selling their dining room china cabinet, table, chairs, piano, and other personal property items. What would they use to transfer title? Number 1, a title policy. Number 2, a deed. Number 3, a settlement statement. Or number 4, a bill of sale. Your answer is number 4, a bill of sale. And that's what we talked about just now. The bill of sale is the instrument used to transfer personal property. Next question. An example of severance in real estate would be, number 1, the process of canceling a real estate contract. Number 2, paying off the mortgage on a property. Number 3, receiving a final paycheck after being fired from a job. Number 4, cutting a tree in the backyard and selling as firewood. And your answer is number 4. That is a perfect example of severance. It's cutting a tree in the backyard and selling it as firewood. That is an example of going from real property to personal property. Next, a seller hires a broker to list a commercial space currently leased as a floral business. The tenant is moving out in 30 days. The seller says that all the personal property is not included in the sale. A buyer looking at the property asks the broker about the refrigerated display cases along the wall that appear to be attached. The broker should say the display cases are, number 1, excluded in the sale as trade fixtures. Number 2, automatically stained because they're attached. Number 3, appurtenances, and they will stay. Number 4, they're excluded because they have been fully depreciated. Now, I will tell you on this question, most people get this wrong. Most people are going to pick number 2. They're going to think they're automatically stained because they're attached. And that's what they're going to pick. That would also mean number 3 is correct, because that would make them appurtenances. They're improvements, and they would automatically stay if they're attached. However, this is commercial. It's commercial property. This is a commercial space. Now, I want to just share with you a couple things, and you're going to see a couple of links pop up on the screen. Click on those whenever you want to start the next video to keep practicing. But when you're taking this exam and you're sitting there and you're a little bit stressed, because it is stressful going into an exam like this, remember when they ask about commercial property, just put a little different mindset on when you're reading a question about commercial property. Like this is a perfect example because it involves a trade fixture, and that's what we just learned about in this video. So even though it's attached, because it's a trade fixture in this case, it would not stay because it's regarding commercial space. So I hope this helps. Please subscribe, give this video a like, have fun studying. This is the best career ever imaginable. It's worth the studying. Study like crazy. Do as many videos as you can. I'm also, before you click on the next one, you can come back to this video later. Go into the remarks of this video. Go into the remarks, the description of this video, and I'm going to attach a whole bunch of other links just to make it easy to find a whole bunch of other videos on test questions to help you pass this exam. Thanks for watching, and click on the next video.